Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd, and thank you for showing up. Today is, thank God it's Friday. Remember that? And it is December 6th, 2024. And I've been busy all morning and been doing some things. Got some guests lined up for next week. So I've made the determination that I've had my life on hold, waiting on all this stuff from my first floor. I'm tired of waiting. I'm going to put everything back on my first floor, out of my garage, get my garage back. I'm going to go live my life. When these clowns want to come, do what they need to do, they can come do it. So I'm tired of playing. Okay. Tired of living my life around a bunch of bullshit. So I will be doing that later this evening. So got guests coming up for you this week. So next week, look forward. I definitely have already penciled in Corey and Drew-Lat. If you don't know who Corey is, Corey, Nature is the Answer on YouTube. Brilliant young man. He's written 8, 9 books, and he's not even 25. Inspirational, definitely lovely young man. So always good to talk to him. If you wanted in on the Cyber Week special, it's over. It ended at midnight. I actually went to bed last night and I was like, yeah, I'll let it roll till the morning. So I let it roll till about 10 this morning, and I disabled all those specials. So if you were trying to get one of these, you missed. So I was like, what am I going to do for Christmas and New Year's? Or, what's that look like, Floyd? So I was like, I need to do something different. I don't need to do the same thing everybody else is doing. What can I do to kind of stand out on an island and, get noticed? So I was like, what kind of sales can I do? I've done just about everything already. And decided, here, let me go look it up. So this is what I came up with. Let's see if this is the same information that I was reading earlier. Okay, here we go. And I had no idea. I bet you didn't either once you see this, because you're going to be like, what? Because that's what I did. So I decided I was going to do a 12 Days of Christmas. So I was kind of like, okay, we all know the song, right? Got a partridge in a pear tree, 2 turtle doves, 3 French hens, 4 calling birds, 5 geese a laying, 6 swans a swimming, 7 maids a milking, 8 ladies dancing, 9 lords a leaping, 10 pipers piping, 11 drummers drumming, 12 golden rings. It sounds like something that would happen at Epstein Island. I'm totally kidding, allegedly. So I'm not going to be giving away partridges and turtle doves and fowl. Okay. That would be funny. But I was like, okay, well, maybe I can do, like these package deals. Like on the first day, I'll do like, 1 product. The next day, I'll do 2 products. Next day, 3. Next day, 4. Next day, 5. And then get up to Christmas Day where there'd be 12 golden ring, right? Well, I had no idea that the 12 Days of Christmas begins on Christmas Day. It doesn't begin like you would think on the 13th, right, of December. So I looked it up. So I wanted the exact number of days. I wanted to be, perfect and everything. So first thing I read was, according to Christian tradition, the 12 days of Christmas, also known as Christmastide, are the festive season celebrating the nativity of Jesus Christ. The period begins on Christmas Day, December 25th, and ends on the evening of January 5th, known as Twelfth Night or Epiphany Eve. So what happens the next day after January 5th, the 12th night, or Epiphany Eve, January 6th? I can't make this up. So I don't know. Maybe everybody's going to get an epiphany on the 5th, the 12th day of Christmas. I don't know. But the historical significance, the 12 days represent the time it took for the three wise men or kings to travel to Bethlehem to visit baby Jesus and offer him gifts. In Eastern Orthodox denominations, it is instead a celebration of time from Christ's birth to his baptism. Celebrations and traditions. During this period, Western Christian denominations observe a series of religious feast days, accompanied by merrymaking and entertainment. The festival season is marked by, number one, Christmas Day. Number two, St. Stephen's Day, the 26th. Boxing Day, the 26th. New Year's Eve, December 31st. Circumcision of Jesus on January 1st. Wow, that's something to celebrate. Okay. And the Epiphany on, it says January 6th. So I guess you get the ideation on the 5th, right? Known as Epiphany Eve. And then on the 6th, we all get an epiphany. The popular Christmas carol, The 12 Days of Christmas, is a song about a suitor sending his sweetheart a series of gifts, with each day adding more items to the previous day's list. The gifts include, and we've already gone over that, the modern celebrations. While the traditional 12 days of Christmas are observed by some Christian denominations, many modern celebrations and traditions have adapted the festive season to include, number one, Advent calendars, number two, Christmas markets, number three, gift giving and exchange, number four, family gathering and feasts, number five, holiday parties and events. The conclusion. The 12 days of Christmas are a unique and festive period in the Christian calendar, marked by a series of religious feast days and merrymaking. While traditions have evolved over time, the core significance of the season remains a celebration of nativity and the visit of the Magi to baby Jesus. I had no idea. I wonder if you did. How you doing, Bear? So I thought that was like odd and unique. So I'm going to do mine in the traditional sense with the 12 days of Christmas, beginning on Christmas Day. So it will run into the new year to the Epiphany. So who knows what the Epiphany will be? And you remember what I always say, if you don't play, you can't win. So always remember that. Listen to the words that I say, so pay real careful attention. All right, let's dive into the main topic. Contrails versus chemtrails. Now, I bring this up for a reason because, I take my dog out every morning so she can take care of her business and run around a little bit, get some exercise, some fresh air, some sunshine, and chemtrails. Yippee. Can't wait. How's that for Folgers in your coffee in the morning? All right. So I was like, damn, man, they just been lighting this place up for the last week. And they have. They've been hitting Houston hard. So I started taking pictures. And then I went back outside for something else, and there was even more. And I was like, oh my God. So I just stood there, and they're like going right over the same. Here, I'm going to show you in the pictures. Okay. Now, in the title, you're going to see I'm calling out a NASA engineer, Scott Woodard, because he told a friend of mine, oh, those are contrails. So I'm getting ready to blow his statement, beliefs, knowledge right out of the water, because you're going to get ready to see irrefutable proof of exactly what's going on. Oh, sorry. Let me, whoops. There we go. And it's loading up. So give me a minute. All right. This is where I was yesterday. I'm actually sitting on a stool behind my camera, pointed at this stage, at this luncheon, and the Marquis Marriott Houston Ballroom. You can go look it up. That's a little bit closer. State of the Airports, presented by the Greater Houston Partnership. Okay. And this was the solo violinist during the actual lunch or dinner or brunch, whatever you want to call it. These are the two techs. They're running audio and lighting and sound and video. And I bring this up because state of the airports, we talked about Bush Intercontinental Airport, which I'm going to address in these these next slides. We talked about Hobby Airport, Ellington Field, NASA, Space Force, and SpaceX. So I heard from astronauts, politicians, movers and shakers in this industry, which is what? The air up above. So this is what I saw when I first walked out this morning. Of course, you see this little curved line, and you see this one. So let's continue. You see them going to make the X. This was the one they did earlier, and then they came and they hit this one, and then of course there's that one. And here you see what they're creating one right here. So you see that one's already there. That one's already there. And that's another shot of that curve that I did. There's the sun. That's another shot of it. As you see, this one's going down right there. That one's going up. So they crossed right there, right above the peak of the house. There's another shot. And you see another one crossing right here. So remember, those two intersect right there at the apex of the house. And there's another one coming across. What is that? That is a plane, folks. Okay. And what is that? That's a chemtrail. Where's that plane coming from? Bush Intercontinental Airport, folks. Oh, just wait. It's going to get good. So I want you to see that this plane is taking the same pathway that those other ones left the chemtrails. No, Floyd, stop. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't put a plane in here, not leaving a chemtrail, contrail, and then another plane leaving a chemtrail. Don't do it, Floyd. Don't do it. Goes against everything Scott Woodard believes. That illustrious NASA engineer. No, I did not do that. Did I? You see, they're spraying right through the same line. There it is right there, doubled up. As it continues. And yet another plane flying through the quagmire called chemtrails. I can sit here all day long, folks, and take these photographs. That's the last one. No more irrefutable proof than that. Actually, let me go back. So I want you guys, if you want, y'all could screenshot it. Pull it up for you. There you go. There you go. This is a passenger jet flying out of Bush Intercontinental Airport. We have no idea what this is, but you see there's, not much difference in elevation of these. So if you want to take a screenshot, there you go. There's a full screenshot for you. Even a better one. There you go, folks. Screenshot that, send it to your naysayers, your non-believers. There you go. Cover the chemtrails. This is live, Tim. Yeah, there's tons of great photos. There's pictures of the crew with the patches and, the canisters inside the planes. But these people, they don't want to believe it. They're just so stuck on stupid. It's ridiculous. And it's people like that that are supposed to be the educated people that are in control, that are so dumbed down, institutionalized, and programmed, and just refuse to believe it, that, they override the real truth with their bogus narrative. Just like we've been to the moon repeatedly. The first question you should ask yourself is, how did the camera get on the moon to be able to take a picture of Neil Armstrong taking that first giant leap for man? It doesn't make any sense, folks. If you actually get a real tour, I was privileged to have all access to the actual training facility for the astronauts, where they're currently training for this Artemis mission. Okay. They have a mock space shuttle there. They have a lunar lander there. They have spacesuits there. And because I have all access, I was doing a Kamala Harris when she was, well, she still is the VP, an event there that we had all access. So we're able to pretty much walk anywhere in this facility that we wanted to, you know, within reason. It's not like we can just like start walking into offices and shit like that. But for the most part, walk right up to a lunar module and check it out. You know, it's roped off, but we have access because we're not the public. We already have our badges, our credentials. We've already been cleared through the government for security reasons. It's a sad day. It really is that, you know, people just don't believe that. Oh yeah. Let me, I don't know if you guys watched yesterday's show. I did 2 videos, part 1, part 2, 4 steps to getting rich and staying rich. Basically, how to establish your goals, how to change your life, become somebody else, what to do if you suddenly become wealthy, and then how to achieve and reach your goals. So very inspirational. I don't endorse that particular company that I profiled in the videos, Alux. However, if you cannot manage and handle your own affairs to the point where you just have to have somebody to kind of drag you along to get things accomplished, that may be a platform for you. They have an app and you can put in, you know, you do a survey, you put in everything that you want to achieve, and it does everything for you through, you know, part of artificial intelligence or something like that. But it keeps you on track and gets you motivated and keeps you moving forward to achieve and attain your goals, whatever that looks like for you. So me, myself, I just, you know, watched the videos and I found them very inspirational, motivational. So actually got some stuff back on track, especially with my whole first floor. I decided, you know, look, I'm tired of waiting on these clowns. I need to live my life. I don't need to tiptoe around somebody else's, you know, whims and whatever. So, yeah, that's just where I'm at with that. If I have to go get some sheetrock and sheetrock this thing myself, you know, whatever it takes. I'm just done. That's all. So go check out those videos that I did yesterday. If you didn't get a chance, they are they're really good. If you have not nominated my buddy Ed Group, you know, we're getting closer to January 20th. And there you go, get rid of that. So please, it's in the description below, okay, of this video, and actually it's in all of them. So here's the so if you haven't, please nominate Ed. If you need some mushroom therapy, I will have Diana and Kristen on sometime next week. I've reached out to them today, so I will get them scheduled. And I'm just looking at my replies. I've asked my very first guest for the High Noon Show to come back on, Rebecca Prestwich. She's contacted me. She's like, but I don't have anything new or anything successes. And I was like, but Rebecca, it's the journey that you've been on. all the stuff that you've done for, it hasn't happened. So I want to share her experiences with you guys so you can hear it from somebody who's been in the trenches, who's in the wars, in the battles, has lost the battles, losing the war. Hopefully she will eventually get relief. And if you don't know anything about Rebecca, her daughter, basically the state has stolen her daughter and given her daughter to the baby daddy, which is a bad situation. So she's been trying to get custody of her daughter back, and we're going to hear her story. She was following, the whole American State National stuff when this first occurred. And sadly, they categorized her as a sovereign citizen right off the bat. So every time she does anything, okay, she's a sovereign citizen. That's the first thing they tell her. Oh, you're one of those. Because in their system, they have her categorized as a sovereign citizen because she got out there, started spitting out all that American State National mumbo jumbo right off the bat. And they labeled her, they categorized her. And this is what I try to tell everybody to prevent from happening to you. Last thing you want to do is get labeled as a paper terrorist, domestic terrorist, an extremist, be part of an extremist group, no-fly list, on a watch list, labeled and categorized in the courts and in law enforcement databases as a sovereign citizen. Because if you watch the video that I did about Frank Barris last week on the right to travel, how he basically told a Wyoming state trooper and 2 county deputy sheriffs that he was going to have a gunfight on the side of the road if they tried to physically extract him from his private automobile. And Frank kept saying, go call the sheriff. So apparently they went and called somebody. And somebody had the wisdom to tell the officers, hey, stand down. We know who that guy is. Let him go. We'll catch up with him down the road when there's a less hostile situation. Because the last thing they want to do is go clean up dead bodies on the side of the road, whether they're law enforcement, sovereign citizens, nationals, or just innocent people, period. And when that initial video was sent to me by one of my viewers like yourself, I watched it and I was like, oh, well, who's this guy? He got down. He got down. He expressed everything that you're supposed to express, but wrong place, wrong time. So when she sent it, I had done my investigation and I emailed her back. I said, look, man, they probably just let that dude go. And they'll go and catch up with him. Because, I didn't see anything to light my fire that, either side was right or wrong. Because we never saw the initial stop. We really don't understand what that was about. We just caught it at once the cops in his actual window. And as I went and took a deeper dive into Frank, I was like, oh, well, the last video he posted was a year ago, and he was pretty steady, consistent about doing videos and posting them on YouTube. So where did Frank go? Did Frank get the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and go sit down and shut up, disappear like you're supposed to? Or did he get taken into custody? So, boom, I went and did my research, pulled him up in PACER, which is the database for all U.S. District Circuit Courts of Appeals and United States Supreme Court cases. So any federal case is in PACER. Well, I looked him up, Frank Barris. Boom. Frank Barris is doing time, folks, in the Bureau of Prisons for felon in possession of a firearm. Wow, I wonder how that happened, Frank. It's because you told them on the side of the road you had a firearm. You were fixing to have a gunfight with them. Really? You're a convicted felon. You have a firearm in your vehicle. You're obviously a felon in possession. And then you want to threaten a state trooper and two deputy sheriffs on the side of the road to have a gunfight and not expect to be held to any consequences for doing so. Wow. That's I just got a text from Diana, one of the mushroom ladies. She says she has 2,000 people coming to her house for a lighting ceremony. So she slammed today, and tomorrow is Electric Night Parade. I have no idea what this stuff is. Front of the house. So Sunday is better. So yeah, okay. That's a lot of people coming to your house. 2,000 people. That's insane. I can't even imagine that. Totally lost my topic. Where was I? Oh yeah, we're talking about Frank Barris and the right to travel. So, this is why I advise people, if you're not prepared to get out there and handle yourself and know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, because the side of the road is not the place to educate law enforcement. If you want to educate a cop, put him on the witness stand under oath. Then you can educate them. That's your turn. That's your place. Don't do it on the side of the road because you're in a hostile environment. And if you do any of the things that even denote an American state national or sovereign citizen, they're gonna put you in that box. Whether right, wrong, indifferent, they're going to put you in the box. And it's a sad deal. Oh, yeah, now I know what I was going to go do. Ooh. Nope, that's not that one. Give me 1 second. I thought I had this stuff pulled up, but apparently I didn't. Nope. Come on, bro. There we go. Wanted to play this video for you guys. All right. Do y'all remember when Trump wanted to what the hell? I don't know why it's jumping all over the place like that. There we go. All right. Okay. Y'all remember when Trump wanted to buy Greenland? Y'all remember that? I bet y'all missed this. NASA discovers underground city beneath ice sheet in Greenland. NASA discovered it? Well, let's see what this is all about, Floyd. NASA scientists discovered underground. Hang on. Back that up a little bit. Whoops. I don't know if there's any copyright stuff with the soundtrack, so I don't want to get hit for that. So I muted it, and I'm gonna pause it every time it puts up a new PowerPoint, whatever they're using. So there you go. NASA scientists discovered underground city buried 100 feet beneath Greenland. Researchers discovered signs of human construction deep beneath the ice of the island's territory tundra, according to NASA. Camp Century, an abandoned Cold War era military installation, was rediscovered 100 feet beneath the ice by a NASA Gulfstream 3 back in April. The Washington Post reports that the Army Corps of Engineers built the massive structure as a key part of the nation's nuclear deterrent policy under President Dwight D. Eisenhower. So apparently, the military or the federal government can build deep underground military installations and just totally forget about them to where they have to be rediscovered. So, how many of those do we really have in existence? Just here in the continental United States, not Greenland. So, is it really forgotten? Is it being utilized? Is that why Trump wanted to buy Greenland? I don't know. I mean, do we still have a foothold there? Are we going to reestablish a foothold there? What's that look like? So most people miss that. I did not. I have a couple videos I wanted to go through. That's not one of them. There we go. These are some older videos, but I wanted to cover them for you guys. This one is from 9 days ago. Hundreds of United States Postal Service employees across the country arrested. So have you heard anything about this in your local news, or if you even pay attention to the local news anymore? Really? I don't know why it does that. So there you go. So if you've been tripping on your mail, that's why I always, try to take everything to the post office myself, do everything myself. That's why. But apparently they've been doing this all across the country. Another thing that they're doing is robbing postal carriers of their master key to the banks of mailboxes. So when you see those big banks in front of subdivisions that have, all the mailboxes, or like, I have one here in my little community, they get the master key and then they go in there, open them up, and they take, all the mail that they want. And let's see. Oh, here's another one. I know Mark didn't cover this. All right. Y'all gonna love this one. Y'all gonna love this.
A CBS News investigation found dozens of law enforcement leaders buying and illegally selling guns. A review of government audits and court records over the last 20 years uncovered instances in 23 states across the U.S., plus Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C., for a total of more than 50 cases. And people who were supposed to protect and serve were selling these high-powered guns and making a steep profit. Erin Couchy, who led this reporting, is here with me in Studio 57. She's a producer for CBS News Crime and Public Safety Unit. Erin, this is so mind-boggling that these high-ranking officers are getting these guns and then they're selling them to criminals. In essence, the law enforcement officers are criminals themselves.
Right. So the key is that these weapons are usually deemed too dangerous to be on the street. So they're using their access as law enforcement officials to gain access to things that otherwise wouldn't be on the market. They're saying we need this for our official duties to serve and protect, but actually they're secretly turning around and they're selling.
They're buying them because they're law enforcement officials, or they're requesting them. Tell me more.
It runs the gamut. So there were 50 cases all across the country, and there were different ways they got it. Sometimes they stole it out of the inventory. Sometimes they were their issued weapons by the department. In the most egregious cases, there were battlefield weapons, and that requires them to go to federal regulators, ask for special permission to gain access to them. And just to give you a sense of what kind of weapons these could take out an armored tank. They could go through a building at the other side, hit a target 18 football fields away. They can take out a military helicopter. That's an example from a real case. We found an Iowa police chief in a 3-person police department. Town was the population of less than 800. And he had requested over the course of 4 years 90 machine guns to get access to. He'd gotten approval. It took until he requested a Gatling-style machine gun that spewed 6,000 rounds a minute for federal regulators to say there's something fishy going on and starting to look into it. He's now serving a 5-year prison sentence, but he's totally unremorseful about it. He just says it's a business. It's not illegal to sell things in this country, and he's appealing his sentence because he just doesn't think it's a crime.
Oh, this is a lot to take in, Erin. And when I'm looking through all of this material, I'm seeing here that your team also uncovered social media posts where the buyers are talking about how they got the officers to sell weapons. Tell me more about that.
So when you're talking about machine guns, you do have to go to the federal regulation because there's been an outright ban in the United States since 1986. No one can have access to them. The one exception is official government use. So they go to federal regulators, but all you need is a letter. It's functionally a permission slip. A police chief signs a letter saying, I need this for department use. So there's literally do-it-yourself videos on social media explaining there's online web forums, and it just comes down to relationships. There's some guys who said, I know a police chief, I know a sheriff, I know a SWAT guy. They just take turns signing these letters for me, and they make it like it's all for fun. Some of these guys just think it's fun to literally mount it on an armored tank and just shoot it off into a field. And a lot of the guys is totally innocent, and that's what they do. But the problem is there are cases where they've ended up in the hands of criminals. So they've ended up with drug traffickers. They've ended up with arms dealers. There was a case where a police chief, a mayor, and a town, it was a member of the town council, were trafficking guns and tactical gear to a Mexican cartel. There was a case just last year where they all ended up pleading guilty. It was 2 police chiefs, a sheriff, a Delta Force veteran, all conspiring together with a sanctioned Russian arms dealer, and they ended up in the hands of an international gun trafficker. Again, all of that ended up pleading guilty, so we know for sure that they were doing that. And then there was a case in the Northeast where it ended up being used in a fatal gang shooting of a 14-year-old boy who was just standing at a high school football game and accidentally got shot. So most of the cases don't end up in those egregious situations, but they certainly have and do, and these are law enforcement officials.
And arguably, that's the whole reason why they're supposed to have these permission slips, because once they get out into the public, then they're uncontrolled, and then you don't know where they're going to go next. But I'm also seeing here that there's some former ATF agents that you spoke with that said that they were reluctant actually to charge these officers who sold the weapons. What's going on with that?
So we spoke to about 6 agents who were the lead investigators on some of these cases, and the officers themselves were the ones the federal agents were the ones who were actually really frustrated with this. They wanted to bring these cases, but they each had an anecdote about how they'd had to go to the department they had caught doing this, who had been doing it repeatedly, almost like as a course of business, that they were getting these guns just for the express purpose of selling them, even though they were supposed to be their department weapons. And they just had to say, I'm letting you off with a warning. Prosecutors were generally reluctant to try these cases, according to them.
So it's the prosecutors, not the ATF.
It's a little bit of both. So they say the prosecutors don't really want to do it because the sentences are very light. Most of these cases, people make plea deals. They serve less than a year, just a few months in jail. But we got an ATF memo from a few years ago that described this as a growing trend. That was in 2017. And most of the cases we found actually have happened since then. So it seems to be, it's hard to tell if it's happening more often or they're actually just going after it a little bit more now. But the memo said, it's our job to educate, not investigate. And I actually tracked down the senior agent who had written that memo, and he said, we generally take the posture, we don't question our law enforcement partners. So our partners, we're just going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And it's really only in the very, very egregious cases that we actually pursue. So when they've gotten many, many warnings, when we've traced them directly to a crime, and that's when you start to see charges. So the more than 50 cases, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more out there that all these agents are saying, oh yeah, I said, how do I look that up in the court docket? You're not going to see anything.
Fascinating reporting. Erin Couchy, thank you.
Thanks so much for having me.
You can find Erin's full investigation into law enforcement illegally selling weapons on our website, cbsnews.com.
I always have to give credit where credit is due. Man, leave a comment about that, what you think about that. That the ATF has a hands-off approach to law enforcement officers obviously illegally buying military-grade weapons and explosives and selling them to unauthorized people. Let's just put it at that. Very simple. And they just look away or give them a warning. Hey, you shouldn't do that. Is this what we want for law enforcement? Where there's a different standard, a different tier because they have a peace officer's license and they're a sheriff or a police officer or a member of SWAT or a ranger or Delta, that they have some immunity that I don't have? That's not fair and partial justice, folks. This is, some of the things that I expose that need to be out there that you're not seeing anywhere else. Just like that clown who got into the Harris County jail with a gun in the cushion of his wheelchair. Why he was in there with his own wheelchair, I have no idea. They have wheelchairs. You need to give him his own, his own county wheelchair. Unbelievable that happened. All right, what else do I have here? Come on. All right. There we go. And this is a good one. Let's see. Take that one out of here. Move that one. I can't remove that one. A menopause mustache. I want one of those. Can I get one? I'm kidding. Menopause mustache. Didn't know that was a thing, girls. I know it's so difficult being a female. Guys just don't really understand, do they? That's why I get down for women. You don't think men understand how difficult it is sometimes for women. But like I've told you before, okay, Texas has executed innocent men. Absolutely. Don't know about women. The only one I know is Carla Faye Tucker, right here out of Harris County, Texas. I had all kind of people that I went to school with, elementary school, junior high school, that dated Carla Faye Tucker. Absolutely. I know. A lot of people.
But as soon as I come in, she's right on my shoulder all the time. Everything was different when I came home. Everything was different. Cars were talking to you. Everything was different. I'm 64 years old. I was wrongfully convicted of a first-degree murder. I was sentenced to Walpole State Prison for life. The reason they're out here right now, I spent 27 years in prison until new DNA technology proved my innocence. A judge overturned my case and the jury awarded me $13 million, but due to Massachusetts cap laws, I was awarded $1 million. But it does help, of course it does, but it can never make up the years I lost. Those were my best years, my earning years. I never got married, I never had a kid. I lost all my family, all my mother, my baby brother, my brother Joey, my sister Kathy, died while I was in prison, and I wasn't allowed to go to the funeral or the wake. It's very hard on a person, especially when you know you're innocent. And prison is a bad life, Prison is a tough life. Lost a piece of my ear. Got my nose almost bit. I know you don't want that, but I got my nose almost bit off. Yeah, I was attacked. Well, because I was a lifer doing first degree in Massachusetts prisons, they don't allow a lifer to take up welding. They don't allow a lifer to take up hair cutting. There's no programs in prison for lifers to do anything. So when I came out, I had no skills, nothing. I hope it never happens to anybody ever again, what they did to me. What they did to me was terrible, and they know it. This one here, when the mother and father died, and it was real small, so I hand-fed that as I got it to be, I made it live. That one right there on the shoulder.
I'm about to cash a $50,000 check for.
Now, do y'all understand why Texas has executed innocent people? This is why I say, if you're a prosecutor, you're an attorney, a judge, a justice, an appellate judge or justice, and you knowingly support a wrongful conviction, you should do a life sentence. You should have everything taken away from you. You know why? Because if that's the circumstances and repercussions of you violating the constitutional rights and law of another human being and destroying that person and their family, you see what happened to him, you should have to give up everything, just like you did to them. Because if those were the circumstances and repercussions for your actions, it wouldn't happen. You would do everything in your power to make sure that the person that you are sending to death row or sending to prison for life or sending to prison for life without parole, or like myself, a 60-year sentence, which they call that baby life because that's where it starts at 60 years, that you better be damn sure that you're convicting them with the fact evidence and that they are actually guilty. And, which alludes me to my $10,000 cash, bounty on anybody, I don't care who you are, and I'll do it live, and I'm putting it out here live, $10,000 cash bounty. I will give somebody $10,000 cash. I'll do it live on YouTube, Rumble, whatever. If you can prove that under the laws in the state of Texas on July 10th, 2001, Section 4909 B and E of the Texas Penal Code and then go look at my record over in the Harris County District Clerk's office for case number 881716 and pull up my record, go look at my complaint, go look at my indictment, go look at my charge to the jury. You can go read the reporter's record. You can go read the clerk's record if you want, but I'm telling you, it ain't in there. You're not going to find, and this is the law of the land, United States Supreme Court holding clearly, that every element of the offense must be alleged and proven beyond a reasonable doubt to secure a conviction. And they didn't do that. So I'm actually innocent of a third-degree felony DWI. What they did convict me of is a misdemeanor DWI with punishable enhancements. They call them punishment enhancements. Okay. They don't elevate they don't, losing my train of thought. They don't enhance the offense to a greater offense. These are used for punishment. Okay. So they have different categories under section or article 12 or section 12 of the Texas Penal Code, where they break it down. So you have 1242D, little d, okay, 12.42D, 1242D. That's a habitual felony offender. So if you committed a felony, then they take 2 prior felonies and use those as punishment enhancements and increase the penalty from 5 to 99 or life to 25 to 99 or life. That's me. I'm guilty of that. Okay. That's what they convicted me under. However, what they truly, really, factually convicted me of is a misdemeanor DWI with prior punishment enhancements under 1243B, little b, which means you're a habitual misdemeanor offender, where they can go back and they can use prior misdemeanor convictions and prior felony convictions to enhance your punishment under a habitual misdemeanor offender. So there's my cash offer. I put it out here many times. I used to have the title for my car, put that up. So I just $10,000 cash money. Everybody likes cash money, right? And it's free for you if you can go prove it. So if you can prove it and you have the evidence, we'll do a live show and you can present your evidence. And if you could show that under the law at the time of my offense, another Supreme Court case law of land, and my record, combine the two, prove that I committed a third-degree felony, I will give you 10 grand cash live on YouTube. I swear, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. New Testament. There you go, folks. I put my money where my mouth is. I don't play around. And nobody has been able to take me up on that challenge in at least 2 years, if not 3. So I just want to show you I'm a perfect example of what that looks like. How they just ignore everything. They don't care. Doesn't matter if they're ruining people's lives, that they've destroyed families, destroyed reputations. Also, they can walk around in their own environment where they work and brag about what they've done. Or go hang out at Char Bar downtown Houston and get intoxicated and sit there and boast about all the crap they did. Because that's what they do. They go hang out after work, and yeah, they're all friends. Don't think they're not. That's a legal community. They all have a bar license. Doesn't matter what side they're on, they're still on the same side. 2 sides of the same coin. So let me get on a little bit more. There we go. And I think I talked about, I'm pretty sure I did the field sobriety test thing. Yeah. Let me break this down for you, okay? Because this is from the Houston Police Department, okay? This is their YouTube channel. Do you know how to complete a field sobriety test? Learn how we can tell you are intoxicated with these simple steps. We hope you are never in a position to take a field sobriety test. Please do not drink and drive. Be responsible and plan ahead. Well, I went over this. Go over it again because under Article 1, Section 10 of the Texas Constitution, let me go show this to you guys real quick. All right, Texas Constitution, Section 10, Article 1, Section 10 of the Texas Constitution, rights of the accused in criminal prosecutions. This section ensures that individuals accused of a criminal offense are treated fairly with due process. Key provisions are a speedy public trial. The accused has a right to a speedy public trial by an impartial jury. Right to demand accusation. The accused has a right to demand the nature and cause of the accusation against them and to have a copy thereof. No compelled self-incrimination. The accused shall not be compelled to give evidence against themselves. You heard me. Boom. So if you can't be compelled and you say, I'm not going to take a field sobriety test. Okay. How about a breath test? I'm not going to do that either. Okay. Blood test. I'm not going to do that either. And what did they do in Texas? They go get a warrant from a judge. They take you into custody, restrain you, take you to a hospital, and compel you to give blood. That's what they do. You just saw what the Texas Constitution says, folks. So let's go dive into what the Houston Police Department says about a field sobriety test. Now, I just happen to be an expert in standardized field sobriety tests. I know where they came from. I know who wrote them. And I know what she now says about the adoption of her study to be utilized as a test, okay, a test that you're intoxicated. And I know I've gone over this. So let's just see what the Houston Police Department has to say, because, folks, this is 110% bullshit. Why? Because the field sobriety, okay, the standardized field sobriety procedures are not a test. There is no pass or fail because it's not a test. So they've already got you right there with just the name of it, test. It's not a test. So whenever you hear that, and you're in a trial, criminal trial for DWI or some type of intoxicated related offense, and they start talking about a field sobriety test, as soon as they say test, object and ask them, can I pass or fail? And they're going to say, if they say yes, oh, they just violated your rights. They just perjured themselves because it's not a test. All right, first, drunk drivers, okay? Well, can drivers be intoxicated on other types of substances like maybe hallucinogens, cocaine, heroin, opioids, fentanyl, pass out at the wheel? Yes, that's why this video is 100% inaccurate, okay? This is the bullshit narrative that they want to express on the public. This is where people get dumbed down, miseducated, programmed, and institutionalized with disinformation, deliberate disinformation. And it's adopted by everybody. Oh, that's what the Houston police, I saw a video on that. Okay. I need to get with my buddies over there at the Houston Policeman Patrolmen's Union and get this shit cleaned up. Horizontal gaze nystagmus test, which is so fondly called the HGN. However, okay, she just called it a test. It's not a test, okay, because it's not a pass or fail. All it does, and this is the legal terminology, folks, it provides the officer with clues. Clues. That's the proper legal term that should be used in court. If they say they failed the test, they're lying. They're utilizing terminology to inflame the minds of the jurors that is 100% patently false, a violation of your constitutional rights, prosecutorial misconduct. If you object and the judge overrules you, that's judicial misconduct. Do you want me to go on? Let's go on. Okay. So basically, I don't know why he shined the light way the hell up here, because he should have it right parallel, because this looks like the vertical gaze nystagmus. Or if they have a prior head injury, or if they've taken some type of over-the-counter medication or a prescription medication that could cause nystagmus. Or, wow, what if they have naturally occurring nystagmus, Floyd? Because the officer, okay, according to the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, where this all came from, they've got to ask you a series of questions before they even ask you to take this field sobriety. It's not a test. Procedure. Okay? They're following what? Procedure. All right. First of all, I'm looking at this officer right here, and you know what I do not see on his chest right here? A DRE badge. And you're like, Floyd, what's a DRE badge? Drug recognition expert. That means that they went to have continued learning education, and they took X amount of hours. They got certified as a drug recognition expert, which means they got extensive training on clues of impairment by various means. Okay. I'm just going to say from alcohol to heroin and everything in between. So I don't see that on this officer. So he is not qualified to give standardized field sobriety tests. Doesn't have the education. And again, these are not tests because you cannot pass or fail these tests. They just provide clues, basically, that person may have consumed some type of substance that prevents him from standing on one leg with balance. Okay, I didn't see a DRE badge on any one of those officers, which tells me they're acting outside of their own authority. So I like picking on cops, law enforcement, because they're poorly trained or deliberately mistrained. And just to reiterate that position, you remember those 265,000 cases that the Houston Police Department had a lack of personnel to investigate? Well, apparently they say they've investigated almost all 260,000 of those cases, and yet they only found 0.1% of those cases that they would file charges. Just 178 felony and 87 misdemeanors out of 265,000 reported cases. So here's some of the comments below. And let's go do a little journalism for you guys. And the reason I do this is because a lot of people have emulated me, and they've gone on and done their own shows, their own social media, their own platform. And, God bless them. I'm proud of them. I'm glad I could be a launching pad for somebody else. That means a lot to me, and that's why I tell you guys, I'm not looking for subscribers, viewers, views, likes, thumbs ups. That's all me. I'm going to sit there and do what I do, still do my research, share my findings with you. So is this happening in your own jurisdiction, your own city, county, parish, town? I don't know. But I put this out here to show you that there's a lot. So let's go look at the numbers, okay? Because I told you guys this, and I didn't show you the numbers when I first mentioned this last week, I believe it was. But I told you guys, Houston Police has about 5,500 officers. They actually have 5,229 sworn peace officers as of 2020. They have 1,000 unsworn members, which are civilian staff. So roughly they have about 6,200. All right. So it's pretty much been steady around 5,000 to 55,000, or I'm sorry, 5,000 to 5,500, 5,500 for it, probably a couple decades, even though we are the fourth largest city in the country. So when you do the math, how many of these officers are actually going to be able to investigate? Okay. So if they assigned, okay, and I'm sure they don't have 1,000 people to assign to it. So we'll just be very generous and say 5,000. Okay. I mean, 500. So 265,000 cases divided by 500 people are 530 cases. So they said they've done this. When did that case start? This has been a while. They started on it. Let's just give them 10 months, get a nice round number. So in 10 months, each officer would have to vet 53 cases. They would have to investigate those. And that's if they have 500 dedicated officers that are doing nothing but tackling 265,000 reports to investigate, interview witnesses, go to potential crime scenes, get sex assault kits, whatever that looks like. So do you think they physically had the manpower to do that? With the continued crime that's going on. So there you see the numbers for yourself, exactly what it looks like. And, oh yeah. Let me address the idiots in the room. And y'all let me know if y'all know anybody in the state of Texas calling out the governor, the lieutenant governor, the attorney general, secretary of states, and putting them on Front Street with their bullshit. Y'all let me know. I'd love to have them on my show. So our lieutenant governor right here from Houston, Texas, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, has introduced a bill, okay, that would outlaw the sale of THC products, mainly hemp that contains THC Delta 9. Okay. So it's not quite cannabis sativa, it's hemp. So let's watch this, and then I'll tell you why this is the most idiotic, stupidest, moronic bill ever entered into the Texas legislature. Okay. I'm calling you out, Lieutenant Dan Patrick. You're a moron. You're a dumbass. You're an idiot. And I'll show you why.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is proposing a ban on all forms of consumable THC products.
It will be discussed in the next legislative session, which is just over a month from now. Stephen Goen has more on what's behind the bill and potential impacts it could have on local business owners.
Just 5 years ago, a majority of Texas lawmakers supported hemp sales with the passage of House Bill 1325 that allowed for the sale of hemp products across the state with no more than 0.3% Delta 9 THC by weight. That was in 2019. Since then, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says retailers have exploited the law to sell, quote, life-threatening, unregulated forms of THC. In a statement Wednesday, he also claimed sellers had targeted children and sold products that have 3 to 4 times more THC than what might be found in marijuana. It's those alleged industry issues behind new legislation, Senate Bill 3. The lieutenant governor announced this week the bill would ban all forms of THC in Texas if passed during the next legislative session.
It's a shame to see this business opportunity go to waste.
Chris Powers is a retailer in Houston who sells THC at his hydroponics gardening business. He said the impacts of a total ban would be devastating for customers.
They're going to go back to buying it illegally on the street. This way, we're buying from reputable large companies who have a paper trail of all the products. So everything that is sold is pure.
So it's disappointing, but it didn't come as a surprise.
Cynthia Cabrera is the president of the Texas Hemp Business Council and also works for Hometown Hero, a cannabis products wholesaler. She said she supports regulation, but feels a total ban goes too far.
Why didn't the bill that we supported last year that would have imposed an age limit, why did that not get any support? How does the ban help anything?
Looking ahead, the lieutenant governor said he expects the bill to have broad bipartisan support. Still, Cabrera said a ban would impact the livelihood of thousands.
The ripple effect will be huge.
In Houston, Stephen Goen, KHOU 11 News.
There you go. Why?
To keep you.
Why is that an idiot move, Floyd? Well, see, they passed that hemp bill in Congress. So it opened the door for people to grow hemp in Texas. So people have gotten a license from the Texas Agricultural Department, from Sid Miller, who's the commissioner, who 100% advocates the legality of recreational marijuana across the board. Okay. This is the guy that's over agriculture in the state of Texas. Here, let me go show you a picture. Some of you don't know who Sid Miller is. And when you see his picture, you're like, that guy wants to legalize marijuana? Yeah. Here we go, folks. You ready? This is Texas Commissioner Sid Miller right there in his big old cowboy hat. Absolutely. Texas Agricultural Commissioner Sid Miller, an 8th generation farmer and rancher. Okay? 8 generations. Sid Miller is the 12th commissioner of the Texas Department of Agriculture. He has devoted his life to promoting Texas agriculture, rural communities, and the great state of Texas. Born in De Leon in Comanche County in September 1955, Sid Miller graduated with honors from Tarleton State University in Stephenville, which is up by Austin, with a Bachelor of Science degree in vocational ag education. A recognized community leader, Miller was the first elected to the House of Representatives in 2000 and quickly earned a reputation as a staunch defender of Texas agriculture, constitutional freedoms, and individual liberties for all Texans. Jesus, why can't he run for governor? Uh-oh, did I say that out loud? Sid Miller, please run against Greg Abbott. Please, 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 please. There you go. So if you're in Texas, hit up your legislator, your representative, and tell them what you think about, food, nutrition. He's a good guy, he really is. You'd look at him on his face, you'd think, oh man, that guy, but he's a smart man. He understands what the cannabis crop as well as the hemp crop is in value to the state of Texas. So let's go do another deep dive. All right, let's go check out why this is a idiotic bill. Dan Patrick should resign for this one. This is how idiotic this is. Hemp sales in Texas. Based on the provided search results, here's a summary of hemp sales in Texas. In 2019, Texas legalized the sale and consumption of hemp, a weaker form of cannabis containing a maximum of 0.3% THC, aligning with federal law. The 2019 legislation, House Bill 1325, allowed for the commercialization of hemp, including unremovable, non-intoxicating trace amounts of Delta-9 THC. The hemp industry in Texas has grown rapidly, with over 7,000 registered consumable hemp retail spots across the state, selling products such as gummies, candies, drinks, and smokables with low-dose THC. However, lawmakers have expressed concerns about the industry's lack of regulation, citing the massive market for hemp-derived cannabinoids and the potential for unscrupulous retailers to sell products with higher THC content than intended. In response, the Texas legislature is considering stricter regulations for the industry, including potential bans on certain products or stricter labeling and testing requirements. The Baker Institute, a nonpartisan think tank, has argued against an outright ban, citing the potential for industry to go underground and the economic impact on the state's hemp sector, which employs over 50,000 people. Key developments and recommendations. Senate Bill 3, which is what idiot Dan Patrick put out there, proposes stricter regulations for hemp sales in Texas, including potential bans on certain products. The Baker Institute recommends prohibiting the sale of hemp-derived cannabinoids to individuals under 21 and implementing stricter labeling and testing requirements, which the Cynthia Cabrera has also supported, which actually should be. Lawmakers are considering implementing regulations to address concerns about THC content, product safety, and consumer protection. Current state of hemp sales in Texas. Retail sales of hemp products are allowed, but with some restrictions. Products must be produced in accordance with federal and state regulations. Testing and label requirements are in place, although some lawmakers argue these regulations are not stringent enough. The industry is expected to undergo significant changes as lawmakers consider stricter regulations and potential bans on certain products. Please note the summary is based upon provided search results and may not reflect the most up-to-date information. It is essential to monitor legislative developments and regulatory changes for accurate information on hemp sales in Texas. Okay, here's the consumable hemp program. Texas Supreme Court upheld the Texas statute that prohibits the processing or manufacturing consumable hemp products for smoking. And this goes on and on and on. Y'all can look at this. But what does that do when you ban the sale of all hemp products in the state of Texas? Well, clearly there's 7,000 retailers. So if those retailers are doing, let's just do the numbers, folks. Okay, because numbers matter. 7,000 retailers. They're doing $1,000 worth of business a day, which shouldn't be that difficult. Otherwise, they shouldn't be in business. That's $7 million. Okay. So we're going to multiply that times 365 days. That is $2,555 million. Did y'all hear me correctly? $2,555 million. Okay. $2.555 billion. It's a billion. It's a $2.5 billion business. So out of that, we have sales tax. So we'll just say times, we'll give 3% to the state. Okay. And I know it's probably more. That's 76.6 million state revenue. So Dan Patrick, you don't need 80 million bucks. You're just going to like flush that down the toilet. Do the numbers, folks. It doesn't add up. It does. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. If it don't make sense, it don't make dollars. That is from the one and only Percy Miller. And I know you're like, who the hell is Percy Miller, Floyd? Percy Miller is No Limit Records. Y'all heard of that guy, right? Percy Miller. Oh, no. It's Percy Miller. If it don't make sense, it don't make dollars. And this would be Louisiana's own Master P, folks. Percy Miller. And he's an American rapper, record producer, record executive, dancer, actor, and entrepreneur. He founded the record label No Limit Records in 1991 here in Houston, Texas, when he was going to the University of Houston. And he was introduced to the whole rap hip hop scene. He bought a record store and he's like, I'm not really making any money at this record store across from U of H. And he got into record producing and created No Limit Records. I believe his little brother is in Louisiana State Prison. See, we've just got his relative C-Murder, Silk the Shocker. I think C-Murder, Corey Miller. Let me see, Silk the Shocker. President. One of these two's in prison. Silk is the younger cousin of Moby Dick. His older brother Kevin Miller was killed in a robbery in 1990. Rapper C-Murder and Master P are also his older brothers. He has 3 children, so it must be C-Murder. C-Murder. In 2002, Miller was arrested in connection with the murder of 16-year-old Steve Thomas and was sentenced to life in prison on August 14, 2009. Miller is serving his sentence in the Woodard State Penitentiary. Controversy surrounding witnesses involved in Miller's trial came to light in 2018 when 2 key witnesses recanted their statements claiming they had been pressured into testifying against Miller by authorities. Miller maintains he's innocent, and he and his brothers and nephew have called for a new trial numerous times. So I remember when this happened, I met Percy Miller, Master P, right here. As you see, he's from New Orleans. But when I met him, you can see his little grill in there. But he was I met him in 1999 when I was working at Home Entertainment in Sugar Land, Texas. And it was like 8:50 on probably a Friday night, Saturday night, something like that, like 10 minutes to close. We're all getting ready to, go do our thing for the weekend. And Percy Miller walks in with this hot chick. And I happened to be at the counter and I'm like, hey, what's up? And he smiled and he had a diamond grill. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? Because he's taller than me. He's about 6'3", maybe 6'4". I've never seen a grill before in somebody's mouth. This was before, all that blew up. I'm just looking at him going, and I'm trying to recognize him. Is he a basketball player, a football player, a baseball player? Who is this guy? So one of my coworkers knew him from when he worked at like Montgomery Ward's or Sears, sold him a washer and dryer. We were like, oh, hey, what's up, man? And so they connected and, started talking. I started helping the chick. She wanted to look at her cell phone, started selling her cell phone. So we were having a contest for a trip, and it was me and the guy. Forget his name. But Percy Miller ended up dropping $90,000 in about 20 minutes. Yeah. That's how I met Master P. He went in the store and they got the manager and they took off together. And this guy, he bought, I think, 2 or 3 sets the highest end Martin Logan speakers. Not Corel. What other? Another hot Mark Levinson. That was a speaker system. I'm trying to think of the amp and the preamp system. And they had special order turntables, and he bought these systems for like the living room, the upstairs room, another room. And yeah, he dropped 90 grand like that. Of course, the other guy won the contest because he got the credit for sales. I ended up selling the girl a cell phone. So they took my customer away from me because they had a previous experience and sent this guy out on a all expenses free vacation. So that's why I met Percy Miller. Kind of got off my topic there. But yeah, we were talking about hemp in Texas. In the idiocy of what this is going to do to the industry and revenue for the state of Texas. Now, most of you don't know that the state of Texas, the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, was the last penal system, the last jail system in North America. Okay, that includes Canada, the United States, and Mexico. The last penal institution to install collect call phones in their penal system to allow offenders to call outside. The last. Mexico had it first. Canada had it first. Every state, every county, every city across America except Texas prisons. The county jails had them in Texas. Texas was last. Texas is always last. We have this group of these conservative legislatures in Texas who just can't see past their own, I don't know what they can't see past. They're going to be the last to do recreational marijuana in the state of Texas. The last. They're going to be number 50. Even though you're looking at Sid Miller right here. Let me pull Sid up. Somebody actually with some sense, this guy, that if you looked at a lineup of, people in the Texas executive branch or legislative branch or judicial branch, this would be the last guy you would pick out that'd go, oh, that guy wants to legalize marijuana. But there he is, folks. Loud and proud. So Dan Patrick is trying to single-handedly dissolve an industry that's legalized by the federal government, was accepted by the Texas legislature, which is our representatives. Now, if you have a problem with children being targeted, the age limit, product labeling, restrictions, et cetera, well, then go fix it. Don't just eliminate an entire industry because it's, in your view, uncontrollable. Because if you can't control it, because you have the legislative ability to draft any bill you want and probably get it passed because you're the lieutenant governor, but yet you want to wipe out an entire industry. You want to wipe out the livelihood of people who have been working for at least 4 years since 2019 when this was passed. It's devoted, they probably put their life savings into this, their retirement, their entire career, betting on this industry. My daughter works for Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong, Cheech and Chong. She is the franchise person. If you want to buy a franchise, a Cheech and Chong franchise, you talk to my daughter. She's the person. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So she's in Dallas. So she's not going to be able to establish any new Cheech and Chong franchises. And I know that they had, last time I talked to her was last February, where we sat down and had a discussion about what's going on in her life. They were supposed to do over a dozen stores. I don't remember the exact. I want to say 17 off the top of my head. Brand new locations here in Houston, Texas. All Cheech and Chong dispensaries. But now, because of this Dan Patrick bullshit, they've had to pull back and go, hey, we can't go sign these leases for these strip centers. We can't hire the construction crew to come do a build out. We can't go pay for those licenses and fees to get everything up and running. Because of one idiot who lacks the acumen to figure it all out, who would rather just flush it down the toilet than fix it. Those type of politicians need to resign, be impeached, removed, and voted out of office. So here you go, folks. I'm going to recommend Sid Miller for governor of Texas. I'll put it out there. So Sid, do us all a favor, bro. Sacrifice about 6 more years of your life. I know you're getting elderly, but leave a mark. Come make the state of Texas really a great state. There you go. I've babbled on for a couple hours now. Let me get over here to the comments. Say hello to everybody who did show up. Bear, of course. Valerie, how you doing? Hey, if y'all want to send me some photos, videos, whatever you have, I keep telling y'all, just send it to me. fearlessfloyshow@yahoo.com. If you have a big database, a lot of information, send it to me on Telegram. Okay. You can send me 4 gigabytes of information at one time on Telegram, as opposed to email where you're going to get limited on how many attachments you can do. Grip, how you doing? Hey, Felix. Yep. Yeah. It sucks when there's corruption and fraud within the government, whatever that looks like, whether it's a military, big pharma, legislation, judicial, executive. How you doing, Michael? Thanks for showing up. Steph Kohler. Prior record score. I don't know what that is. That is what it is in PA. I work for PA Commission on Sentencing. Okay. Prior record score. Okay, I know what you're talking about. In the end, the judge can do whatever they want. Yeah, pretty much. Hey, Buffy in the house. Yeah, that would be nice, but they're going to find, our public intoxication, that they'll find a way to generate revenue, get around it. Disabilities that cause, there's a series of questions they're supposed to ask you at the very beginning, and they don't. They never do. And if you have a very good attorney who really comprehends the law and all the different aspects, because when you get an intoxicated related offense, you're in an entirely different category. Okay. That's almost like a capital murder case where there's just so much evidence, knowledge, and research that takes to adjudicate that case on all fronts. Because, with DWIs, you have the offense enhancements. Like me, I had 2 prior DWIs. So this third one, they use those 2 priors to enhance it from a misdemeanor to a 3rd-degree felony. Then they went and got 2 prior felonies and attached those and habitualized me. So I got double enhanced. My offense got enhanced and my punishment got enhanced. A perfect storm. You're not going to meet very many people like me. The courts find that, hey, that's constitutional. Right. I agree, Steph. Hey, tomfoolery. Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a minute. Do you think they're setting it up to decriminalize across the board? They're doing that in Tennessee as well. You know, I would have thought that the Biden administration would have done that, especially with, you know, drunk ass Kamala Harris, allegedly. Trump administration probably won't. They're just too conservative. You know, this is how I look at it. If it comes out of the ground naturally and there's nothing that you have to do to process it, to turn it into a different chemical structure, like i.e. coca leaves, to where you have to put it through this process to get cocaine, or bazooka. None of y'all know what bazooka is, do you? You had to be a really hardcore drug addict to know what bazooka is. Let me see if they even have it on the internet. Here we go. I'm going to show y'all just how big of a drug addict I really was. Bazooka cocaine. Bazooka cocaine refers to a slang term used to describe a mixture of cocaine and other substances, often including brick dust and chalk. This term is also associated with bazuco, a cheap and highly addictive byproduct of cocaine production commonly found in Colombia. Origins and composition. Bazuco, also known as bazooka cocaine, is made by dissolving cocoa leaves in water and then treating them with substances like diesel, gasoline, chloroform, ether, sulfuric acid, kerosene, or even liquid from car batteries. This process creates a cocaine-based paste, which is then cut and extended with various substances to create a stronger high. Effects and addiction. When smoked, bazooka cocaine produces a quick burst of euphoria, reportedly stronger than that both cocaine and crack cocaine. However, this high is fleeting and lasting only 2 minutes before being replaced by dysphoria, characterized by symptoms of such as distress, anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation, apathy, sexual indifference, and a desire to keep using. Bazooka appears to be more addictive than cocaine, with 78% of users in a 2013 Colombian survey considered problem users, compared with 60% of cocaine users. So there you go. Conclusion: bazooka cocaine, or bazuco, is a dangerous and highly addictive substance that has become a significant problem in Colombia and other countries. Its composition, effects, and addictive nature highlight the need for effective drug treatment prevention and strategies to address this issue. You guys ever heard of bazuco? Probably not. Have you ever seen it, smoked it? I have. Yeah. That's why I'm telling you folks, you're never, ever in your entire life, I can almost promise you that, you're never going to meet anybody like me. Nobody. I've just done so many things. I have so many stories. And you had to know a Colombian to get bazuco, okay? Because mostly we just got keys of cocaine. But to get bazuco, you had to ask for it, or they had to present it to you. And they didn't normally just present it to anybody, because they were bringing that over thinking that they could, you know, gain more traction, get, you know, another foothold with another substance that would get you even more addicted than crack cocaine or regular cocaine, powder cocaine. So, you know, in my opinion, when you got to do all that and create some substance, that, yeah, that should be illegal. However, you know, peyote, mushrooms, marijuana, all that should be legal. It's just all natural. Okay. It's how people abuse anything that's natural. You can abuse anything. Let's see. Yeah, I would think Tennessee would get on board. Cosmic Ray, how you doing? How's your mom, Ray? I haven't had a chance to talk to Diana or Kristen in probably 2 weeks. Today, I feel well enough where I haven't had a headache. I haven't had a sinus headache. I haven't had to blow my nose 10,000 times. So I think I finally coughed all this crap up and gotten it out of me. Went to the gym last night, rode the bike for an hour, which is an accomplishment considering what I was coming off of. They're of course, they're remodeling the sauna, so I can't get in there. I want to get in there. Stoked. Yeah, I am glad I'm back too. They didn't quite throw the book at me, but they definitely made an example out of me because there was a class, a school field trip class in the courtroom the day of my sentencing. Of course, Mothers Against Drunk Driving was all the rage back in 2002. And I was an example. Don't drink and drive because this is what's going to happen to you. The state's going to ask for 35 years, but we're going to give you 60, Mr. Tarvin, because you're a danger to the citizens of Harris County, Texas. Absolutely. She's going through a rough spell right now. Well, hopefully she will get better. Prayers going out to her. If y'all folks don't know, Ray's mother has cancer. And hopefully she's on a protocol that will assist her with her life. That's about as general as I can get with it without getting banned from Google for free speech. So everybody, man, I really appreciate you guys tuning in today, staying in tune, and hopefully you got a little educated. Again, if you didn't get a chance to watch these two videos, and there's a reason I made those two thumbnails different colors so you could tell that there are two videos, part one, part two. Part one's going to overlap the first video, or the second video of part one going to overlap as the first video in part two. But I kind of did that for a reason because I wanted to do all 4 videos at the same time because of time restraints. I had to work yesterday. I didn't get a chance to do that. So if you need something motivational, go check those videos out. You know, it's my thoughts that I tell you guys. I don't tell you in such a succinct, tailored way like they do on their platform. But in general, same principles, same dogma. Everybody should be following. Let's see here. I think I've covered everything. Next Thursday, I have, let me go pull up Corey's. Let me get this out of here. There we go. I don't get those to go away. There we go. Sorry about that. This is Corey's YouTube channel. Corey, Nature is the Answer. Go over here and subscribe. He has 3,000 subscribers. These are some books that he has written. Very prolific author in his own right. And this is what he's all about: to connect all generations with a message in a mission in a message. Subscribe if you want the world to get thinking more, or in the effort to understand more of the world around us. Let's build a community willing to question anything and everything. I'm not afraid to speak out openly. Analysis, dot connecting, documentaries, seminars, recipes, resources, public events, live streams, and more. If you want his links, he's apparently at TapLink CC, at Corey Health, Corey Edmund Indrulat, and he was born in 2000. So he is 24 years old. I don't know if he's going on 25. And please note that he's done all his work for free for years. I do my work out of fun, care, creativity, and a moral obligation to humanity. I threw humanity in there, but I guarantee you that's what should be on the tail end of that. So these are some of his videos. Institutions, prisons, schools, and churches. He calls out Charlie Kirk. So he's not afraid to step up on the stage and call a spade, no pun intended. But you see, he's a prolific character. And as I said, he's written multiple books. Very well spoken, well mannered man. I'm very impressed with him. And it takes a lot to impress me. And I had him on my show, and because I was going through an issue with Scam Anderson and his cyber stalking and harassment of myself and other social media hosts and platforms, that I didn't give Corey a fair shake. So I want to get him back on the show so we can just, it's all about Corey and not about my troll and then Corey. So yeah, that episode kind of got sideways, and I apologize for that. Apologize to my audience for that happening. But Scam Anderson is, yeah, he's all but disappeared. And I have a 2-year statute limitations to file charges. So when I go to Puerto Rico here very soon, I will be getting with Mark, and we will be going to the authorities in Puerto Rico, and we will be presenting our evidence, and we'll see what we can do about getting Scam Anderson locked up in Puerto Rico. We're going to take you away from your children. We're going to take you away from your mother, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, you want to play stupid games, we're going to make sure that you win some stupid prizes. Absolutely. I do not know if I'm going to do a show this weekend. You never know what's going to pop up. So stay tuned. I don't know if I'll do something impromptu or I'll have something scheduled. I haven't talked to Jeff in 2 weeks, maybe. So I don't even know what's going on with that. I don't even know if he can come on the show. He wants to come on the show. If he's going to, if he settled his little drama thing over there and I don't have to deal with it, and then, yeah, he's more than welcome to come back on the show. I'd love to have him. It's going through my videos, and I was looking at, here. Well, let's just go look through. Let's go look through my videos. And, I want to show you guys something, okay? What it's all really, really, really about for me. Because if it was all about views, likes, subscribers, all that crap, okay, I want you to look at these, 30 people watching now. The 2 videos I did yesterday, 700 views total just on YouTube. They're over on Rumble as well. But you see, I average, I can get about 1,000, 2,000 views for my own videos, mostly in the hundreds. But when Jeff Rom comes on, boom, I get, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 additional views. You see my nomination for Ed Groups only has 240. So you can see I average, about 1,000 views per video, up to 2,000 maybe. Here's one for 23. But then I put Jeff on, okay, and it goes up to, there's 5K. Here's another one, Jeff, for 3.4. Here's another one, 15,000 views. I'd take that one down because we got different information. Here's one, almost 5,000. Another one for almost 10. So when Jeff comes on the show, here's one for 3,000. Here's one for 4K. Another one for 4.5. Here's another one for 10,000 views. 5,000 views. Okay, so you see some of my biggest videos I have on my platform are Jeff Rom. And people chasing the redemption process. There's one for 12,000. I think this is the first one we did right there. Yep, it is. So if I was in this for subscribers, views, likes, shares, all that crap, guess who I would have on my show every day? Jeff Rom, right? Because I'm not concerned with subscribers, views, likes, all that crap. When Jeff was having his issues, he said, I don't know if I can come on. I said, well, don't. It's simple as that. Don't. I will live. I will survive. I will still do the things that I do. So don't ever think for 1 minute why I do what I do for subscribers or views or likes or whatever. I'm going to sit here and just do what I do, report what I report, call people out when they need to be called out and put on Front Street for their fraud, their corruption, ineptness, their deliberate dumbassity, like Dan Patrick. Yeah, I'm going to call them out. Or there's corruption like, police chiefs and police officers and sheriff's deputies and troopers selling military grade hardware out on the streets to criminals or potential criminals. And we're talking about, 50 caliber Barrett's machine guns. If you put a uranium tipped ammunition bullet in that round, it's an armor piercing. It'll go through a tank. It'll go through a building, both sides. It'll go through an engine block. Yeah, that's what's happening. So I'm going to call them out, continue to do what I do when I want to do it, how I want to do it. All right. And let me finish up here with the questions. Steph, yeah. Hey, I love Jeff. I love having him on. My head just kind of shrinks down when he gets into all the rumors that I just don't believe. A lot of the stuff he gets is from like Benjamin Fulford, who I was listening to that guy when I was in the prison in the early 2000s, reading his stuff going, no. And now it's Real Raw News before it's news. Judy Byington, God bless him, but he's just parroting what these other parrots are out there putting out there as, misinformation, disinformation, or notoriety or whatever, why they publish this crap. Because there's nothing to substantiate it. There's no facts to base it up. There's no sources, nothing. Just like the Brunson brothers case, the military has it. Well, how's the military going to get jurisdiction over something that's in the public courts? That has never happened in the history of the United States of America, which 250 years we're rolling up on, right? 250 years, it's never happened. So now it's going to happen. Doesn't make any sense. PJ. Hey, PJ, let me call you back in about 15 minutes. I'm just finished up with my show. You're welcome. Bye-bye. All right, that's one of my viewers who contacted me yesterday and wanted to get one of the packages and wasn't too sure about which way they wanted to move as far as their goals. So ran everything down to them last night and said, hey, take your time, pick out what you want, sleep on it overnight, hit me up tomorrow, and I'll give you whatever package deal you want. Absolutely. Neil Benoist was good too. Is he the older gentleman? Yes. Neil Benoist was recruited to be the 13th seat for Majestic 12. I will have Noel back on. I will probably do some videos with him. I want to, because I'm co-authoring a book with Noel, so don't think I haven't forgotten about him. He's available all the time. All I have to do is just get out there and address it. And like I said, I've been dealing with this fucking whole remodeling thing that's really got me pissed off now because nobody has bothered to pick up the phone and call me or text me or say, you know what, Floyd, we're not showing up this week. We're going to show up on this date. And I'm just not having that anymore. So yes, Noel will be back on, but I'm going to start categorizing him. So we're going to talk about the JFK assassination, the RFK assassination, Martin Luther King assassination, and some other things that he did. But we're just going to break it down in a specific category. So he's not all over the place. And it's hard keeping him in the lane, okay? Because he likes to take a right, he likes to take a left, and then we'll get talking about Leonardo DiCaprio over here in the set of whatever movie that was, or he'll start talking about this over here and we'll be totally off topic. So, yeah, but we're going to try to keep it that. I'm going to try to break it down to where they're smaller segments. They're not 2-3 hours long, hopefully keep them within an hour. Because remember, I'm downloading all the transcripts and I have to go back through these transcripts. I have to edit it, create it, and make it into a book form. So it's a lot of work. But I will probably do that when I'm in Puerto Rico. Yes, I'm going to Puerto Rico very soon. I'm trying to find out which air carrier I can utilize to take my dog with me. I'm going to be gone for a hot minute. So I want to take my dog. I don't want to leave her here with somebody else. There you go. We don't want Jeff to be in trouble. No, listen, I want everybody to have a peaceful, serene, harmonious life and no drama. And him coming on the show is creating drama in his life with a psycho. And I don't want to have to put him through that. So he can stay away so he didn't have to deal with it. Doesn't have to hear it. There's a potential he'll be back. Yeah, I hope so. That's all I can say. He's watching, Jeff. Hope so. Yeah, he does have stories. He got a lot of them. The haters. Yeah, I know. The haters. Steph, you think you got some disinformation? Yeah, it happens. That's why I don't really put the intel out there because I know, obviously, clearly and unequivocally, the people tuning in to Jeff Rom want to hear nothing but the RV news. Okay. You can just look at how many people watch the videos. They're waiting on Jeff to give them RV news, some kind of intel, which I do not express because I do not want to be the guy that's, he cried wolf. He said this is going to be, last Tuesday and it wasn't. And he said before that it was going to be, November 10th and it wasn't. And before that he said it was going to be Labor Day and it wasn't. I don't want to be the guy that's wrong all the time. I want to be a guy that's right all the time. I want to be a guy that's going to tell you the truth. I want to be the guy that's going to stand up and say, you know what, I misspoke, or I had some bad information, or my guest that I had on that came and talked to you about wah, 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 wah. Well, you can't believe anything they said because, okay, because I'll be the first one to stand up, take responsibility because this is my show. I'm the host. I'm the creator. I run it. Nobody else does, and nobody's going to. I don't have any producers. I don't have any executive producers. calling the shots behind me. Oh, you got to have this guest on. You got to have that guest on. Or blowing my phone up while I'm talking to a guest, telling me what to talk about to my guest. You remember when I said psycho? Does that sound like somebody that's psycho that wants to do that all the time? That's why Jeff will never, ever, 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 ever be on Mark Z show again. Psycho. Nobody wants, if you put in, I've done almost 800 videos now. I think this is 788, and I'm sure I've done others that, never even got posted. 788 videos. That's a lot of videos. It's a lot of work, a lot of time. Some of those videos are 8 hours long. If you were part of the High Noon show back when I first debuted it, those shows went noon to 5 minimum. And sometimes they went till 8 or 9 at night. Absolutely. So the last thing we want is some psycho babbling idiot over our shoulder telling us what to do while we're doing our show. How ridiculous is that? Somebody who doesn't even have their own social media platform, who's never had a social media platform, doesn't even know how to do one. It's pathetic. Let's see. I'm trying to get out of here. I do too. I look forward to Noel. Noel's a very good guy, and I want to get his stories. So I'm going to get out of here. It's 2:11. I've got to run I'm not going to run. We're going to travel to the post office and go take care of business up there. I know Jesse had some things he wanted to do. So we're going to get that out of the way today. If I don't see you guys tonight or over the weekend, I'll see you high noon Central Time Tuesday, which is December 10th. Well, there's a lot allegedly supposed to happen on that day. So let's pray for rain. And you know what I'm talking about? That kind of rain. From Iraq. We need one of those sub-Saharan dust storms to come hit us, except with Iraqi dinar. Ray, it's a lot of people think this is just real simple. You just jump on, do a live video, but when you start really getting into it, it becomes more, you got to do your thumbnails, you got to do your research, get your descriptions together, all your links, your social media, you got to pay for stuff. It eventually adds up. It's a lot of work. It really is. That's why Jeff doesn't have his own show, folks. That's why he just does these Mondays on, I don't know if it's his Telegram or somebody else's, but yeah, it's a lot of work. A lot of work. Even this video is not done yet. Even when I end it, that's still have a lot to do. So everybody have a safe, happy weekend. Monday, I will see you on Tuesday if I don't see you before. If you have any topics, guests, stuff that you want, the Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com is my email. The fearlessfloydshow.com is my website. You can go get some classes, some books. If you want to wait till the 12 days of Christmas, which will begin Christmas Day, I will be doing 12 days after Christmas of the 12 days of Christmas, where I'll be running a new special every day for 12 days of different packages. Blind Owl, how you doing? Target of a satanic cult, right? YouTube Bear, everybody have a safe and happy weekend. God bless you. I'll catch you when I catch you. Thanks for being here. Send me all your goodies. Send me all your stuff. Telegram. Okay. If you can send me pictures, videos, whatever, Telegram. Don't email it. Probably won't go through. Let me see if I can. Let me. Well, let me turn you guys on to this video. And this will be my blaze of glory out, introducing my friend.
For the Fearless Floyd Show, I'm your host, Fearless Floyd. I present to you the homecoming of Bobby Rock with the Lita Ford Band at Warehouse Live, Houston, Texas.
And there you go. That was my longtime childhood friend, Bobby Rock. Real name is Bob Rock. He got Bobby Rock from Vinnie Vincent because Vinnie Vincent talks so fast. I want to introduce you to my friend, as you saw from my shirt that I was wearing next to him, Dragon Dirt. That's a product that he creates. He's all vegan. He is a multi-published author. And he recently, well, I don't know how long ago, but his baby mama is a voiceover artist. I'm sure you've all heard of Rick and Morty. Well, that's his baby mama. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to hooking up with Bob soon and meeting his new wife and his son. Bob is my age. He's 62, works out. He's a beast. I know the band, Canadian band Rush, is looking to go out on I think a final hurrah tour, Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson. And I'm going to nominate Bobby Rock to drum and replace Neil Peart. I've seen Bob play that type of drum set, and he's very impressive. So if you don't know anything about Bobby Rock, go check him out, bobbyrock.com. I love to promote my friends who are successful, and he is a very successful individual, and I'm proud to call him my friend. So thank you, everybody. I'll catch you next week. If not, over the weekend. Again, be safe, be happy, and make America great again. 2026, folks. Don't forget.